Attention bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I'm your host today, Peter, with my co-host,
Jackie.
And
J-Fifth.
And
Father Yodeler. Hey, I noticed that Peter is always Peter when
I'm hosting. I know, it's one of those, like, it comes off weird when I'm all like, I'm Pierre, welcome to the Matterhorn Yodelers. You know, it doesn't,
Who's Pierre?
Exactly.
Who hijacked the Yodeler?
Exactly.
It's under new management.
Oh, it's going to burn down.
But yeah, today we're kind of continuing on kind of our annual tradition of doing stories related to lesser known characters that don't necessarily have a backstory. So we did about, I think, 2 episodes of Haunted Mansion Ghosts.
Yeah, that was one of mine. Was the knight in the background?
Yes,
Sir Reginald, who was betrayed by Sir Michael Caine.
Right.
Michael Caine!
Hey, look, Father Yodeler.
I remember
Father
going through the Haunted Mansion yelling, Michael Caine!
Yeah, I got a video clip of Father Yodeler and Mark outside of Haunted Mansion yelling Michael Caine.
Well, this was during the ride, too.
Very suspiciously, Michael Caine retired
right after that episode.
He's coming back. He's coming back. He just said he's coming back for a new movie.
Yeah,
Muppet Christmas Carol 2?
No, I did not hear that. I can't remember which movie it was, but it sounded like he was coming back.
I feel like no one's really ever truly retired because there's always a big paycheck following.
Sean Connery retired when he retired.
He got sick, so... but yeah, we did 2 episodes of the Haunted Mansion. We did 1 episode of Pirates, and J-Fifth said, "Let's do the Tiki Room Birds."
And I guess the Tiki Room actually is a comic book.
It does.
I have it, actually.
Yeah, I gave it to you.
You did?
Yeah.
Did I ever read it? No, I didn't read it yet. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I was tempted to bring it out to read it, but I'm all like, well...
Then you don't want to ruin.
I didn't want. Yeah, no.
Ruin your story.
I didn't want to ruin my copy of the book. You know, the resale of that is mint condition.
So we each took a bird, each one of the 4 main hosts, and gave our own story. And
who in the audience can name the 4 birds without us telling you who they are?
And Googling.
That's right. Who can you guess all 4 names? Can you guys say all 4 names?
Well, now after
you can prepping for
I
this.
don't think I could.
When we were like breaking up the names, even though I sat in that theater so many times, I was like, I don't know. That was my time. Like, I'd be like, "Wake up, Jose! Come sit down," and I was just like, "I get to sit down for 10 minutes."
To go to sleep. Jose's in charge of that.
This is one of the few seated positions in all of the Disney park where you just sit there.
You always find those cushy jobs. Were always nice. But we're gonna start things off with J-Fifth's story.
All right, the story is called Fritz, the Feathered Betrayal.
Dun dun dun.
Long before the enchanted tiki room echoed with tropical tunes, Fritz was known as Dr. Friedrich Vogel, a brilliant German mechanical scientist with a flair for the animatronics and his obsession with the Polynesian folklore. So Walt Disney met him while vacationing in Europe. You know the story with the little...
Right.
The mechanical box, what kind of inspired the animatronics. And that was all a creation by Dr. Friedrich Vogel. So, as I said, Walt was impressed by Fritz's mechanical birds and enchanted soundscape. he invited him to Disneyland to help him bring those animatronics to the park. And also later create the Tiki Room. So Fritz accepted, and he was thrilled to join in the magic of the Disney parks. But beneath his Fritz's, charm and his intelligence, there was a layer of a gambler. He loved to kind of like cheat the system. He liked having like mechanics with cards to help him win the game.
Oh man, are we going on the riverboat here soon?
One moonlit night aboard the Mark Twain riverboat, Walt hosted a secret poker game on the rivers of America. The players, his favorite Imagineers, park legends, one enigmatic guest known as Trader Sam, the jungle's most infamous dealmaker. You know that Trader Sam was a kind of like the left hand of Walt. You never hear about him out of just the fear of his reputation of what he would do to those who crossed Walt. And you would be like, who crossed Walt? And be like, exactly. Who did? No one knows. So Fritz was asked to join the game. He's confident and he's cunning with his little cheats and little ways to win. But Walt, ever so watchful, noticed something off. He noticed Fritz was cheating. Marked cards or hidden chips.
You don't mess
Sleight of hand.
Walt will take you out. We're turning into Five Nights at Freddy's here, where like children or people become. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't say anything.
The betrayal, it really stung Walt. You just don't cross him. Walt, could have been furious and confronted him, but he just looked to Trader Sam and he did the little finger on the nose and pointed at Fritz to, you know what to do. So Trader Sam leaned in, grinning, and what does it say? And he goes, "I've just got the remedy for you." And from his satchel, Sam produced a shimmering, cursed feather, plucked from a mythical bird, said to sing forever, but never fly. He offered it to Fritz with a wink and a warning. The moment Fritz touched it, the curse took hold. Feather burst from his skin, his voice warped into a parrot squawk. His body shrank, twisted, and transformed in seconds. The brilliant scientist was gone, replaced by a red and white macaw with a thick German accent. Now Fritz is trapped in the Tiki room, doomed to sing and squawk for eternity. He remembers everything: the riverboat, the cards, Walt's glare, Sam's grin. Every "Ach du Lieber" is a cry of regret. Some say if you ride the Mark Twain at midnight and whisper, "Fritz folded," you'll hear a faint squawk echo across the water. Others claim the curse feather still lies hidden beneath the Tiki room, pulsing with magic, waiting for its next victim. Some say Trader Sam still visits the Tiki room after hours, whispering to Fritz through the torches. Others claim Fritz's original blueprints are hidden beneath the room, etched with a warning in German: "Never trust a traitor while a smile too wide."
Very good.
And
you were worried that yours wasn't going to be anything. Like, I don't want to follow Father Yodeler.
Oh,
no, because I've always have, and I'm like, oh man.
It's okay. That's my job today. So.
that's your job.
All right.
Little riverboat gambling, anybody?
Yeah. Throwback to an old
It was all like, he likes
episode.
playing cards, and I go, oh, there we go, riverboat gambling. There we go. All right, Jackie, what is your...
Jacques.
Well, I'm getting into my character here.
Did you touch
soon.
the feather?
Mon ami.
My bird is Jose.
Jose.
Let's hear your impression of Jose.
No.
He's the lead.
So, this is a story, the backstory of Jose and how he came to the Tiki Room.
Jose, can you see? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sing. Can you sing? No. So, Jose, of course, is from... Where is he from?
Jose is
It's
from
very typical
South
Hispanic
America.
name.
South America. Okay.
Okay.
I was trying to be more specific.
No, we're just going to
He's
go
from a
with...
village.
He's from South America. He's a bird. He flies around.
But, okay. All right. Yeah.
He's from South America, and he's very popular with the birds. He is very talented with the music and conducting and coordinating music among all the other birds. So in the jungles, you'll hear beautiful birds chirping.
What about the ugly ones?
There's no small part, according to Jose.
I'm not talking about the parts. I'm just talking about the birds.
Since Jose's got the biggest part, of course he's going to say, there is no small part.
It's easy for you to say with the spotlight on you.
But one day, a baboon.
A baboon.
Baboon.
I didn't know they're baboons
Is
in
there
South
South
baboon?
America.
Is
At
it
the
a
zoo.
monkey? Okay, I don't know.
So as he was visiting the zoo in South America, because baboons are not in South America.
I'm sorry, I don't know my monkey breeds. A monkey
Monkey brains.
did not like the music. He wanted to sleep. The monkey wanted to sleep, but the birds would just chirp and was not very happy. And he knew the only way to get the birds to stop chirping was to go for Jose. Sorry, your guys' reaction.
Dad's got white eyes, and I'm like, going after Jose.
Yes. And so one day the monkey grabbed Jose by the neck
Oh.
and was like, "You stop your music and I will let you live." And Jose was like, whoa, we don't need to get too crazy here.
I'm just trying to picture it with the accent. Whoa.
What accent does the baboon have?
I am not a storyteller.
Can you do like the clicking language?
You're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, what happens? What happens to poor Jose?
So he was like, whoa, let's not get too crazy here. You know, and Jose is a sweet talker. He knows how to kind of calm people down.
Schmooze.
Smoosh it away. And so Jose was like, let's make a deal, okay? Let's calm down, let's breathe. And he goes, let me put on a special concert for you so you can truly appreciate the music. And the monkey is hesitant, but was like, okay, let's hear this concert you're going to put on. And so one day, he's building this concert, and it's the day of the show, but it's big downpour. Big storm is coming, and it's almost like a hurricane weather.
Boom, 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 boom.
That was really good.
That was
Yeah.
pretty
That
good.
was really good. I'm impressed with that.
And so,
I watched a lot of Tiki Room.
To get inspired for your story.
YouTube videos.
YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
Get some chocolate milk watching some Tiki Room.
Everyone's got a YouTube channel now.
and so the storm is fleeing away, and all the birds, fly away to go to shelter. And the monkey's like, where's my concert? And Jose's like, let me check on something. And he flies away. And he goes into the storm.
He flew the coop.
He's flying away because he's scared the monkey's gonna come for him. And so he flies away, and the storm is so strong, he gets twisted and barreled roll around, and he lost control, right?
Sounds like a future ride.
And then he kind of crashes into a tree, and then he blacks out. And then when he wakes up, it's pitch dark, and he sees two red lights, or not red lights, red eyes.
He took a picture before, and he's all like, "What's going? Whoa!"
Flash reflected. Gotcha.
He had the photos developed. He's like, "Dang, red eyes."
Things children these days will never get to experience. The
great-
demoned eye.
The great pictures. A great picture ruined by red eyes.
Yeah, so he sees two red eyes in the distance, and the eyes are coming closer and closer, and he sees a very, like, what's the right word? Strong voice comes out from the red eyes, and says, "I am the goddess of Pele, and you have a greater purpose." And he's like, what?
I'm sorry. Let me get mine.
Sorry.
Already had mine on.
What did Pite like say?
No respect to my story.
Sorry. We all
Sorry. They just put on
We
glasses.
just put on
Goofy
Mother Yodeler's glasses on.
And she goes, "You have a greater purpose." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I make music with my friends. That's my purpose in life." And she goes, "No, there's a greater purpose to bring music all to everyone around the world." And so then she goes, "There's a special island that you need to go to." And he takes this long journey to this island because he doesn't want to go back because the monkey's there. And he's not sure.
Those monkeys.
They're
Those monkeys from South America.
yes.
They're there.
They're there. They're
But
monkeys.
not baboons.
Baboons,
Yeah,
Not
sorry.
so much.
And so then he arrives to what we call the Tiki Room. And he is tasked to create a show to introduce to the world.
Okay, so let me get the story straight. I got distracted by putting on Mom's readers. Jose was really good at making music, right?
Yeah.
And then he annoyed
A monkey.
a baboon.
Yeah.
And then this baboon threatened him because he
Yes.
was interrupting his nap.
Yes.
And then Jose schmoozed him
Yep.
with the promise of a show,
Yep.
which got rained out.
Yep.
And then he fled.
Yep.
And then after he fled, he got stuck in a storm, knocked out.
Yep.
And then Pele shows up
Yep.
and goes, "Hey, I've got a job for you."
Yep.
It pays about $15 an hour.
Think of it like
Includes
Avengers.
Room and board.
Room and board, food.
And then that's how the Tiki Room got started.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. There
I
we
just
go.
wanted to make sure I was following because I was blinded by.
So now we have Jose's backstory, and now we move on to the one tiki bird I always forget the name of, and that's
Michael,
Michael. One of the most like
Michael.
unexciting names.
Jose's friend.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I think they're friends.
I would say so.
Pierre and Fritz are not.
Even though they say they are,
They're not.
they're not. Is it said sarcastically in this show? It's a sarcastic. And my good friend Fritz. Okay. All right. Sorry, Michael. Tell us Michael's story.
Michael was born in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
Were there any baboons?
At the zoo, there were baboons, yes. they may be part of the story, but we'll see how it goes along. Anyway, Michael was born in Toronto, Canada, in a pet store. And when he was born, he was not Michael. He didn't have a name because he didn't have an owner. But a family came in with a boy to buy Michael. And so,
Was the boy's name Michael?
yes, it was. Very good.
Slow down. It's his story.
Oh, please.
And so the family bought the bird for their son Michael, and Michael had fun with his bird, trying to take care of him and so on, giving him fresh paper in his bird cage and all that. And he found out that he could talk when his parents would call for Michael all the time, because Michael wasn't always good at answering his parents. And so they would have to call him more than once. And pretty soon, the bird starting to call for Michael. Michael, Michael, you know how parents are. And so that's the word that gives Michael the opportunity to realize that his bird, who he named Danny, could talk. And he was so happy with him. But unfortunately, this was in the 20s, and the big stock market crashed, and the family lost their jobs and their means of employment, and so they could no longer
Did they eat the bird?
They could not afford the bird anymore. They may have thought about eating him, but realizing that might be a little traumatic for Michael.
Oh no, Michael flew away, or Danny flew away.
That is
We're
exactly-
having pigeon for dinner.
It's kind of like how Grandpa Jack would say, like, "Oh yeah, Terry ran away. The coyotes got her."
Right.
So the father let the bird go because they needed the paper in his bird cage in order to keep warm.
Oh, no.
It was during the Depression. Things were rough and hard. And so Michael, who was Danny at that time, flew off trying to find a home because he couldn't find where he used to live. And so he flew around looking for his little boy, Michael, so that he could be with him. And in the distance, he could hear, when he sat down to rest, he could hear a boy singing. And Michael used to sing. And so he followed that voice to a church where a boy was singing in the church. And it was a boy named Francis. And Francis got to know Danny, but he didn't know what his name was. And the only word that Danny could say was, Michael, Michael. And so Francis started to name the bird Michael. And he took him home, and his parents allowed him to have him, and he grew up with him. And Michael was a singer. He'd go to churches to sing at weddings, and he'd go to the radio station and sing with some of the symphonies that would broadcast during the Depression and so on. And as Michael grew up, he taught as Francis grew up, he taught his bird, Michael, as he's now called, how to sing, because Francis himself, as he grew older into a teenager, developed quite a tenor voice. And so Michael, the bird, also learned to sing and also to speak more and speak more clearly. And as Francis got older, his name Francis became a little bit of a problem for him. Some of the boys used to tease him about his name Francis, so he started to go by his middle name, which was Fulton. And so, Fulton. And so, Fulton was growing up, and he decided that he needed to go to college. And his parents said, you can't just live off of your singing all your life, so go to college and do something like become a lawyer. And so he went to school and started to learn to be a lawyer, but he also took singing as kind of a minor there. And as lawyer school went, it became tough, and he decided, forget this lawyering, I'm going to just be a singer. And so he started to sing for money again and go around to parties. And he heard about this tryout for singing at a show that was starting up in Broadway called the Diamond Horseshoe Revue.
Oh, Disney World. All right.
And
I mean, not Disney World.
It's a Broadway.
This is Frontierland.
This is Broadway
Broadway.
show. Broadway show.
Oh,
Diamond Horseshoe Revue.
Right.
And so he applied for the job singing on the phone, and he got the job and moved off in the early 40s to be in this new Broadway show called the Diamond Horseshoe Revue. And he'd take Michael with him to be back there backstage, and Michael was just learning all the ropes of show business and enjoying every minute of it. But what else happened in the 40s? World War II happened in the 40s, and so Fulton joined the military.
Which branch?
Special Services.
Ooh, very smart.
The entertainment business. And
He got stationed in Greenland.
he got put all over the place. Before he left the United States, he was with Dick Van Dyke for a little while, who worked in the Special Services, and then he went off to travel through the Polynesian Islands, entertaining the troops. And Michael loved the Polynesian Islands. He thought that the music there was just beautiful and something that needed to be part of his being, you know. So Michael the Bird was enjoying all this tripping in. And Fulton went on with the likes of Sterling Holloway in the Special Services, off to China and Burma and India, entertaining troops all over the world. And it gave Michael such an experience of learning cultures and singing and so on. After the war, the GIs were welcomed home and into the entertainment business, and friends knew friends, and Fulton got a job working at the MGM studios, working with what's his name? Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
Not Dick Tracy.
With its pomegranate.
No. Spencer.
What's your secret?
Spencer Tracy. That's it. Spencer Tracy and Clark Gable. Fulton got jobs with them, and he'd bring his bird along to meet some of the things. And one of the friends that Michael met while Fulton was working was a guy named Wally. And Wally and him became very close friends. And so the light went on for Peter.
Oh, yeah.
And so Fulton, through Michael, became friends with Wally also. But show business was starting to wind down in the movie industry as TV had come out, and so the opportunities in the movie business weren't great. So Fulton went off to Las Vegas because Las Vegas was becoming a spot for entertainers, and with his voice, he could go up there and sing. And his wife, who he met, Fulton's wife that he met in the military, Terry, while they were stationed overseas, she was a showgirl, and so they went off and worked in Las Vegas. But Wally remembered him because Wally had left MGM also to go work for a different movie man named Walt Disney, working at a little place called the Golden Horseshoe Revue in Disneyland. And he worked there for 7 years since the opening of the park. But unfortunately, one of his co-workers that was working there got sick, and so
We're having a Windows episode right now.
And so he called his friend Fulton up and in Las Vegas and said, "You got to come down here and work with me at the Golden Horseshoe." And so he did. Fulton Burl moved to Anaheim and started working at the Golden Horseshoe Revue as their tenor singing in that show. And he would bring his friend Michael along on the stage. And while he was there, some of the other Imagineers would come along and visit and enjoy the show. David Hench was one of them. David Hench was looking for something for Walt Disney because Walt Disney was looking to spruce up Adventureland with something new. And he said, well, maybe we need some kind of show. I always like coming to the Golden Horseshoe. And there was Fulton Burl with his bird, and the bird was singing some tropical songs that he'd learned when he was in the World War. And he thought, wow, what if we had a tropical show with birds in Adventureland? And so David Hench presented it to Walt Disney, and Michael got a job there and has been working there ever since. But Fulton Burl went on and worked at the Golden Horseshoe Review for 25 years. He was working there in that show, and he retired in like 1985. Went on to, in 1995, he became a Disney legend. But Michael, maybe not a Disney legend, but you can still see him in the Tiki room.
Wow, we got a
special.
we
Disney
got
legend.
we have a cursed bird. We have a bird on the run from a baboon, and then we have a Disney legend bird.
That's right.
Goodness, boy, what's Peter gonna bring us?
Oh, we're going to go a little dark.
And that's mostly true. Mostly stories. Some of the beginnings embellished a little bit, but mostly true about Fulton Burl.
All right. Thank you for our backstory on Michael. Now, let's talk about Pierre. Now, Pierre's story.
You rascal, you,
That's
as
right.
Michael would say. Pierre, you rascal, you.
But
It's time to put on the show.
Mon ami, I am always ready, as you say, to put on this show, which I'm going to talk about. So, so this story starts off in the Polynesian Islands, where a group of you could say a society of explorers and adventurers come to an island.
Gotta see.
Yeah, wink, wink. I'm not the only one with special connections here.
Yeah, me. It was my story.
Don't disturb my nap.
So, these explorers come to this island filled with these beautiful tropical birds and flowers, and it was just beautiful. And so they did what any explorers did in this time period, and they basically took as much as they could with them. Yes.
It belongs in a museum.
Yes. So they went
Indiana Jones. Okay.
Yes. So Pierre's was one of these birds, not able to speak at this time.
Birds. Why did it have to be birds?
Was he Bollocks from Indiana Jones bird?
So Pierre makes his way over to Paris, where he is bought by a stage performer named Napoleon. And so Napoleon...
Is this the 1800s or?
We are early 1900s.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not that Napoleon.
Not that Napoleon. Okay.
That Napoleon was not a stage performer.
More like Napoleon the Fifth.
So...
Not dynamite.
Napoleon was a traveling performer. He loved singing and putting on shows and things like that. And he bought this beautiful bird and just kind of bought it as like a novelty and be like, oh yes, I can show it and people will be drawn to my show because they see a beautiful bird. And so he would continue his performances with the bird. He called the bird Pierre, believe it or not. And so, as time went on, he noticed the bird started whistling more, and it started whistling a very specific tune. And Napoleon was all like, "This is beautiful. This is a beautiful song, and I can't get it out of my head. It's so mind absorbing." And so he listened to it. It goes. I'll try to whistle it here. It goes.
Oh, no more because you'll
No
get
more. We'll get copyright.
Yeah.
Well, probably my off-key whistling will be will get us in the clear. But he said, you know what? I'm gonna write a song with that tune, and he was inspired because it came from his pet Pierre, and he goes, it's gonna be about singing like the birds, and so that's the song that we hear. That as all of you that have been
He
to the
wrote
Tiki
the
Room,
song that came out in the 20s.
he did.
Okay.
He wrote that song. Well, this takes place in the 20s.
Okay.
The song,
All right.
I'll get there. I'll talk about.
Boy, you're looking for loophole. You're looking for
I know.
inconsistencies, Dad.
No, I
Have some respect towards the story. We
didn't-
only do that towards Jackie.
They only interrupt my story.
I'm just trying to get it straight. I did not know the backstory to that song.
Well, yes, according to the story that I'm telling you, that is the backstory to that song.
In your opinion.
It's Peter's truth.
My truth, okay?
We're not all Father Yodelers.
We're not all pulling Disney legend stories here, okay?
I had Trader Sam.
So he wrote the song, wrote the lyrics to "Let's All Sing Like the Birdies Sing."
Tweet, 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 tweet.
And it was an instant hit. And as he traveled around, the bird would whistle along to everyone. He became a part of the show. Eventually, Pierre started saying some of those words. A word here, a word there, till eventually he actually learned the words to the song. And, and time had passed, many years. But Napoleon was noticing that he wasn't feeling as well. And so he was, raspy voice and so he was leaning more on this novelty act with his singing bird, singing the song, traveling around. Eventually, it got to the point where he completely lost his voice. And the doctors couldn't tell him why. They said, as far as we can see, your vocal cords are all good. Everything looks perfectly fine. And he couldn't figure it out. Why he all of a sudden a performer lost his ability to sing. Then all of a sudden Pierre talked to him and says, "Do you want to talk again?" And Napoleon was all like, "What?" He says,
Are you fact checking?
No.
Father Yoda pulled out his phone. He's like, I don't believe this. This is fake. Fake stories.
Fake news. Fake news. And says, "You must take me home. You must take me home." And that's all he kept saying. "You must take me home." And so Napoleon was shocked by this because he didn't know what that meant. And so he did research on the bird and where it may have come from. And he was able to travel with his fellow people that traveled with him, that performed with him. They went on this, you could say, tour. He called it, we're going to go international tour, but Napoleon's real motivation was to go back to this island where supposedly Pierre had come from. And so till eventually Pierre was able to lead them back to the island of which he originated from. And so Napoleon's all like, "All right, you're here." Like, well, he didn't say anything, but he's saying, like, he was waiting to be able to speak again. And Pierre goes, "First, we must build a house. We must build a home." And so they built a Polynesian-style home on this island. Then all of a sudden, when it was built, they all come inside because it started to rain. So they go inside this little grass hutch home. And he starts to sing the song. And all the other performers are in there. And because of the storm, all the other birds were seeking refuge inside this little tiki home. And they all started singing, "Let's all sing like the birdies sing.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
And as they kept singing it, slowly but surely, you started seeing another bird also singing the words to the song. And another bird singing the words to the song. And all of a sudden you noticed the other traveling performers grasping at their throats because they weren't making any noises. They were all losing their voices and giving their voices to the birds. Eventually, over time,
Goosebumps.
yeah. And that's why when you go visit the Tiki Room, they always invite you to sing that part of the song so that they could steal your voices.
Ooh, creepy.
Is this why this is coming out in October?
Well,
Hey, Pierre's fault.
it's beer and
You rascal, you.
and there's a part I didn't mention, but something associated with the show. Pierre, he has a special connection with all the other birds compared to the elites, because he's the one that introduces all the birdmobile, all the birds there, and they're all French sounding names.
Mm-hmm.
And so these were all the performers that once traveled with Pierre or with Napoleon.
Everybody join in now.
That's a good over there.
And we're gonna make
The
you.
haunted tiki room.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And what's one of
Keep
the
singing.
and what's one of the last lines of the Tiki Room? It says, "We're gonna make you all disappear."
Sing more.
And that is the story of Pierre and the Tiki Room.
So what I didn't mention is that
Are we one-upping Dad? Is that what we're doing?
yeah.
Well, mine, there was...
No. I just wanted to give credit to the voice actors
I'm sure.
for the Tiki Room. Jose was voiced by Wally Bogue, famous from the
Yes.
Golden Horseshoe, and then Francis Fulton Burrell
Yeah.
was the voice of Michael, and then Ernie Newton was the voice of Pierre,
Right.
and then Thurl Raven, whatever.
Ravenscraft.
Tony the Tiger was the voice of Fritz. You're great.
But let us know what you guys thought. Which story did you enjoy? Which one surprised you? Will you ever think of the Tiki Room the same way again?
I will always think of baboons now. Run, Jose, run! That's what we need to do. We all need to dress as baboons. Where's my show?
I will wonder about joining in on singing. I will remember that.
Not today, Pierre. Not today.
You want to play some cards, Fritz?
But yeah, let us know what you think. You can follow us on all of our social medias: Facebook, Instagram, X, and until next time, auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Sing like the birds sing. Tweet, 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 tweet.